So the big Insomniac report for multiple games they have coming up, Sony is focusing hard on single-player games, and Battlefield 6 performance on PlayStation 5 Pro. Those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, are you a single player or multiplayer person? We're going to be talking about Sony's focus obviously here today, but before then, what do you guys care about more? So comment below, are you a single player or multiplayer person? Let me know down in the comments below. Now diving into the first story of the video, Battlefield 6 on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. Reading from Twisted Voxel, Ripple Effect has provided some performance stats for Battlefield 6, saying that it will run at 4K and lock 60 FPS on fidelity mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro and at 1620p on performance mode with a higher frame rate. The base PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles will run Battlefield 6 at 1440p on fidelity mode and 1280p on performance mode, with Ripple Effect noting Battlefield 6 will run at 70 to 110 FPS on performance mode or around 85 FPS on average. The base Xbox Series S console runs at 1080p, but Battlefield 6 technical director Christian Bull said it runs very solidly at 60 FPS despite needing to tweak some levels and make changes to make sure that happens. So Battlefield 6 is almost upon us with the game set to launch in a couple of weeks. I'm excited. I spent a lot of time on the beta, so I'm looking forward to playing this on my PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm curious what they mean by higher frame rate for the Pro, considering they give exact numbers for what I assume is the PlayStation 5 and Series X. I'm going to assume that means maybe closer to 120 FPS, considering the PlayStation 5 and Series X fluctuate between 70 and 110 FPS. Also, the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro has 4K 60 on quality mode is great to see, but I'll be playing it obviously on performance mode, and take in that on performance mode, the resolution is still higher on PlayStation 5 Pro than the quality mode for PlayStation 5 and Series X, which makes me wonder if the higher frame rate that they're quoting here probably also means fluctuating between something over 60 and 120, since it has a higher resolution as well. Let's see. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now diving into the second story of the video, Sony focusing hard on single-player games. Reading from Push Square, in a corporate report, the company highlighted its goals within its first-party studio business to advance its position as creative leaders in single-player experiences. It does, of course, go on to mention that it also aims to broaden its business model through the diversification of live service offerings, but the manufacturer clearly still believes it can have success in both categories. It's good to see the company single out single-player experiences like this. Last year's document didn't specifically mention solo campaigns, for example. So I'm sure this is amazing news to many PlayStation fans who love PlayStation for their single-player titles and have been frustrated to see Sony focusing so heavily on games as a service this generation. Going forward, Sony has a lot of single-player content with, of course, Wolverine, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, Sorrows, Ghost of Yotei, which comes out next month, and of course, more unannounced titles as well. But you guys let me know if you're happy to hear this or don't care. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the big Insomniac report revealing details about their future games. Reading from MP First, someone familiar with the situation over at Insomniac Games has confirmed to us that Wolverine will stick to the 2026 scheduled release seen in the leaks, and that the Venom project remains in development. Additionally, we also have managed to gather some extra details about Venom based on information we've come across. The most important information we've received from our main source is that Wolverine is still on track for a 2026 release, and Venom has been in active development. While we haven't been able to determine how advanced the Venom project is, if we assume Wolverine remains the priority, it's likely that that game is still in pre-production. There are also some details from the story that we've got from a different source, but since we couldn't verify these, we recommend that you take these tidbits with a grain of salt. One of these would be that Eddie Brock will take the protagonist's role, This might seem obvious to some given what happened to the last user of the symbiote in Spider-Man 2. We also know that at least visually, this Eddie Brock will be closer to his comic book counterpart. On the topic of characters, the Venom game would also see the return of Cletus Cassidy as Carnage, who was previously leaked as the main villain of the game based on internal slideshows from the breach. Additionally, Anti-Venom would be featured, but not the version controlled by Peter Parker. Instead, we would see the more monstrous-looking version from the comics that Eddie Brock eventually uses. As with Peter Parker and his struggle with Venom, Eddie can maintain total control over his persona with Anti-Venom, so this could play a significant role in the story. As a final note, we've also come across some clues that suggest that Insomniac is currently working to include Miguel O'Hara, also known as Spider-Man 2099, in one of their projects. While we don't know if it will be in the Venom game, it's more likely that this is related to Spider-Man 3. As some may remember, the multiverse was hinted at through a mission in the last game of the series as a tie-in to the Spider-Verse movies. So, a lot of exciting stuff here with Wolverine still on track for next year. I'm happy to hear that, so hopefully this means when it shows up at the State of Play or the Game Awards, we might actually see proper official gameplay and a release time frame, probably just 2026, but that's something at least considering we haven't seen anything since 2021. As for Eddie Brock being the main character for the Venom game, that kind of makes sense. Maybe they didn't want to have him introduced in Spider-Man 2, so they used Harry over there to include Venom in that game, but they wanted to have Eddie Brock in his own game, considering obviously he's a big staple in the Spider-Man universe. And also, since he can control his own persona with Anti-Venom, it'll be a normal lead character while playing as Venom, as opposed to how Peter's situation went down in Spider-Man 2, where he was kind of pretty much battling his dark side throughout the game. Closing out the Carnage story will also make a lot of people happy that didn't get, of course, the Spider-Man 2 DLC. As for Spider-Man 2099, I want to say he might appear in the Venom game if the Venom game is launching in 2027 at this point, only because we also have Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse launching that year as well, and it would be insane to launch the Venom game launching on PlayStation 6 that year, along with a tie-in to the Spider-Verse movie at the same time. It could be in Spider-Man 3, but I wonder how big Insomniac really wants to make that game. Exciting stuff ahead. If Wolverine gets revealed with a 2026 release window, then the rest of this stuff could actually hold some weight. Let's see. But you guys let me know if you're excited for what Insomniac has coming next or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is a part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with ready for the adventures. I'm ready for the single player experiences Sony has coming next. I'm of course ready for what Insomniac has cooking, because they could have an insane run if they're gonna release Venom, Spider-Man 3, and Wolverine, across 3 years. That's gonna be insane. But if you're excited for what's next from Sony, destroy the comment section with ready for the adventures, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.
Pete's right. Fighting robots is pretty sweet.